Happen. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Warzone Sports Network. I am your host, Tony Tucker. I am joined by Brian Bolster. If you're new, you know Brian. You have to know Brian if you're familiar at all with the Warzone Sports Network. And he and I will be going back and forth on these Milwaukee Bucks here in Game 3 and a must-win for them. Just want to let's do this first. We'll go through. We hit our introduction. We got a new member of our watch party crew here. Willie's going to be joining us from time to time. He is from the Shakeback Media Group. Willie, go ahead and plug where people can find out more about the Shakeback Media Group.
Yes, sir, Tony. I appreciate you allowing me to be a part of this particular project, man. So. Yeah, the Shakeback Media Group on Twitter at Shakeback Media Group, as well as Instagram and Twitter for both. I do have a TikTok, but it's not very active. But if you want to go there, it's that Shakeback Media Group on TikTok.
Okay. Yeah, never. There's no age limit, Willie. As I realized, I got on there, and my kids were making fun of me, and they were like, "Dad, you're too old." And I was like, I'm crushing it over there. You're just jealous because I said you're too young to have a TikTok.
Right.
All right,
hey, let's talk a little basketball here. Finally, let's get to it. If you're a Bucks fan, you got to feel great about Jrue Holiday in the first 3 possessions. He knocks down a 3 and then absolutely puts the clamps on Devin Booker. Has Devin Booker shooting a shot that lands on top of the backboard and goes into the stands. So this is about a perfect start for Jrue Holiday, who needs it.
Well, I love that. I'm all for that. I'm all for making Devin Booker into an average player tonight.
So I gather that I'm on the line or on the broadcast with two people that are pulling for the Bucks. Would that be a safe assumption?
I'm pulling for the Bucks.
Tonight I am. I am.
Oh, okay. Tonight.
Just tonight, I'm pulling for them. My prediction. Also, I want to see a series, right? I don't really care about either of these teams. If I had to choose an overall, I'm rooting for the Suns. I want Chris Paul to get a chip. But, either way, I'll be cool if Giannis gets one.
That's exactly how I feel. And we actually talked about that on one of my shows. My co-host Corey Ellison on the Shakeback Sports Show. We talked about how Chris Paul, with his 16 years in the league and everything that he has had to go through as a player, I finally decided that I really want him to get one. Not because I don't like Giannis Antetokounmpo or Jrue Holiday or Khris Middleton or the rest of those guys for the Bucks. But I just feel like, man, with Chris Paul, with everything that he has and what he's done, it's his time. It's time for him to get one before he gets up out of here.
Okay, well, Willie, I'm a Lakers fan, and so I'm still bitter about the Suns putting the Lakers out, and they were all peacocking, walking around all tough as they were doing it. So I cannot be happy for any of the Suns or CP3, and I am also a Khris Middleton truther, as you will see me going nuts as he's just putting up buckets tonight at home. Can't wait for that.
I get that too, and I too am a Laker fan. But we all know, Tony, that the Lakers that the Suns played weren't really the Lakers that they were playing. So I give a bit of a, just because a fan of the team, I'll give the Suns an asterisk beside that series victory. But we all know that if LeBron were healthy and if AD were healthy, it probably wouldn't have been that matchup, because there's no way at that point in time that the Lakers would have been a 7th seed. So be that as it may.
But that makes it all the more worse for me, because it's like, why do you get to act like you took down the King when the King had an eye patch and he had a crutch? You don't get to brag about beating somebody up when they're sleeping.
Right.
That's basically what the Suns did to the Lakers, and they were just walking around with their chest puffed out, and I wasn't a fan of it.
Right. Well, and I get that too, but that's not the Suns' fault. That's not the Suns' fault that the Lakers were beat up. It's not the Suns' fault that Jamal Murray for the Nuggets was out with the ACL tear. and they can only play. I tell this to teams and to people that are sports fans all the time. You can only play what's in front of you, right?
For sure. I'm with that. And I'm not saying that's the thing. My thing is that when you beat my team and I go out to my garage and walk 6 miles on a treadmill because my wife is like, get out of here with all your negative energy.
Right.
Then I'm harboring some bad feelings. That's all I'm saying.
I get that too. Except for the 6 miles on the treadmill part. I'm not with that right now.
I was so angry. I didn't know what to do with myself. So I just got on the treadmill and watched the game from my phone and was just shouting at Kuzma and Caruso. Oh, it's so silky fall. Come on.
Man, I'm just glad to be joined by a couple Lakers fans. I'm a Lakers fan as well, but it's weird that Giannis is already out, right? Like he called for a sub. I was happy with the first 3 minutes of somebody, in my prize pick selections took some overs for Giannis. He already got 3 boards in 3 minutes, but him taking himself out and looking gassed after 3 minutes is weird. I wonder if that's going to be something moving forward.
Well, especially after, because I thought for sure he was going to have a little bit of an improvement with the extra days off. I was like, oh, he's going to come out fully charged, ready to go. They call him the freak for a reason, right? Like he's there. I mean, when his leg bent back like that, I didn't know if he was going to play the rest of the season, and he was back by the finals, which is impressive.
Hey, they just showed him walking into the tunnel and walking back. I don't know. I mean, I'm with you, Tony. I thought he was going to be an even healthier version of what we saw, which was an amazing game too, but it looks like he's worse almost.
He definitely does look winded, man, as he's he's gasping.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, you can play that way, like as long as it's in short bursts, like go out. What I don't like is that he's walking down the tunnel and like, that worries me. It's like, what are you doing? Like, be on the bench, catch your breath there. Like, I wouldn't want my teammates like worrying and wondering where I went. Oh, so silky, ladies and gentlemen.
Smooth right there, man. Silky smooth. Yeah.
Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, that right there to me, man, it sends a negative message to your teammates and really the crowd too that's going to be there. You're at home, you're back at home after going down 0-2 on the road, and you come back and this is what you're exhibiting. I think that's a bad notion or just a bad display right there. Look at Deandre Ayton, man. Good. I think you know what? My TV is a little bit behind you guys. I see that now. So
yeah.
You just saw the Ayton dunk kind of on a trailing Lopez.
Yeah.
So you're a little bit behind me.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's why I don't announce what happened. You can, however, though, tell in my bias towards Khris Middleton when he does something good. I can't hold it back.
Yeah, silky smooth every time. So yeah, if you didn't know, he hits a 3. But Chris Paul, great start for him. I think he's already hit at least 3 mid-range shots. He's been aggressive to the rim. And, man, for Milwaukee, though, it's a good start. Jrue Holiday's playing well, especially, but it's all about Giannis, especially if you're talking about an actual series win, not just one game. But selfishly, I was really rooting hard for that Brook Lopez 3 because I need him to hit more than one.
That is a great segue into this right here. We have partnered with Prize Picks, and we have our selections as you can see them here on the big board that we created. If you want to join us and play along, make your own picks, your own selections, all you got to do is download the Prize Picks app and put it in. Use the promo code WARZONE to play along. They match 100% of your deposit up to $100. And then you can have a little bit of extra on the game. Like Brian said, I love the fact that our boy Giannis grabbed early rebounds because I got him going over 12.5 boards. The one I'm most worried about is Ayton getting 15. But Brian, like you said, you were already in on yours a little bit there. How you feeling about your picks so far?
I was feeling great until Giannis took himself out because he's already had 3 boards. The way they like to play small a lot, I really thought that one's a lock. I'm going under on your boy, Devin Booker. I know me and you have been a little bit more down on him than most people, although he does take such a volume of shots. Makes me a little bit nervous, but he missed an early three. He had the shot go over the backboard and then missed one of his free throws when he did get bailed out by P.J. Tucker. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And then Brook Lopez, he's going to come through. He's going to at least get me the push there. He's going to hit 1-3.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that he has to win that. But that's like kind of the fun part of adding to the prize picks that we were having. Like we did it last night with the fight event, and I was just cheering for Connor to like stick around for 10 minutes and 1 second. Like if he would have just walked out and Poirier would have drop kicked him in the third round, I would have been fine with that too. But yeah, just add a little fun. If you want to join us, go over there. Make sure to enter the promo code Warzone. Let me see. I'm falling behind on these comments. I am falling behind. I know Felke's got to be making fun of me somewhere over here.
But like you said, Tony, man, it's a great way to get involved in the game. We're Lakers fans, right? Now, we love basketball. It's an NBA Finals. Like, we're going to be into it. But it adds a little bit of rooting interest there for you. And, everybody loves, high stakes. You can play low stakes. You can play high stakes. But just get the juices flowing. Prize picks, a good way to do it.
Love it. Willie, what do you think about the start? You got to be at the commercial by now. What do you think about this start? It's 14-15.
I'm actually at the Acura commercial, Modelo and all that, man. So I think it's important that the Suns have kind of weathered this early storm of emotion from the fans back to the Bucks after being really handled in the first two games in the desert. To be only down a point at this juncture of the game, 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter, they've weathered the storm, and that to me is something that I can use going forward with a whole bunch of confidence in knowing that they knew this was going to be the case when they got back to Milwaukee, and they've performed up to the challenge thus far.
That worries me a little bit too. Especially when you're at home. I want to see you have another start like you had the start in the last game. But I want to ask you guys this question. In the NBA Finals, we all know that there's few people in the league that are as efficient as Giannis. In the paint, in that rectangle, in this home court, it's green. When they're in Phoenix, it's like purple or black or whatever it is. Shoot 90% of your shots in there. Like, shoot them in there. This is no time to be working on my fadeaway, my back to the basket moves. Like, go ahead, average 40 in this series, dunking on anybody in front of you. And then I see they go down the opposite end, and Ayton is making moves inside the paint and shooting high percentage shots. Giannis, please do that on the other side. Please.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right on point because I feel like he is way too much on the ball. Like he's posting up now. I might be a little bit behind you guys, but there's that fadeaway that he took, and it was a good look. But you're fading away to your left again from the basket, And then here's Ayton down below, and he is just killing it.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and so yeah.
What is that, Willie? What is that?
I don't know. It's a coaching thing. I think that's Budenholzer's fault because Giannis is way too athletic, man, to be out there taking fadeaway jumpers over people that's 6'8" and 6'9" when he's 6'11" with a 23-foot wingspan. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
No, I agree. Brian, where are you at with that?
Now, I'm 100% there with you. I think he's shown that improvement, to be quite honest with you, throughout these playoffs. I thought early on, he's trying to be a little too much point forward, attacking from the perimeter, being a primary ball handler. And I think he's really embraced his free throw shooting woes, to be quite honest with you. Just a couple of plays ago, he got fouled. He wanted to go to the line. And I think that's the right mentality to have. One, it just shows confidence. But like we're all saying, that plays to his strengths. He needs to be attacking. As far as he brought up coaching, particularly Budenholzer, I agree, at least from the standpoint of the Bucks are getting killed when they go small. I really don't think they can continue to go small. I think they have to play Brook Lopez, which I know on social media, Brook Lopez is getting killed. He's got slow feet. They put him in the pick and roll. But working this with like PJ Tucker at the 5, as you guys mentioned, Deandre Ayton is just feasting. Like he there's nobody there to check him because a lot of the times Giannis isn't even the one on him. And I think they're giving that up too easy. I think less of PJ Tucker is going to be a good thing.
Yeah, that's part of the reason that I picked Ayton to have the 15 points is because I didn't trust Budenholzer not to continue doing what he was doing. It's like, get the big bodies, allow him, make it a little tougher for him to just run to the rim and catch all these lobs. Or, like he's just in there abusing the smaller lineup. So I'm definitely good with that. And Ayton, we talk about this all the time. Like, he's kind of on that fringe. Like, he's not in that class of Joker and Embiid, like those AD, those big time center kind of tweener forwards or whatever. But make no mistake, like, I think you can win a lot of games with him at center. Like, I think he's worth a lot of money on a team, and especially to this Phoenix Suns team. He seemed to fit in nicely and does his job. If you're almost having a 2020 finals game, you're getting into rarefied air. And now he's really showing off.
I was with you, Tony, until you said a lot of money. Like, I think he brings a lot of value. He brings a lot of value, but that's as your role player, as kind of a star role player. Like, he's got to be your third option. Once you start paying him max money, that's where you get into trouble. I honestly think in today's day and age, he is the center that you want almost more than a Jokic and Embiid, just in terms of a roster construction. Like, you want your best player to be a primary ball handler, a perimeter player, and then have, a fringe top 5 center that's a great role guy. But once you start paying him, then you start getting into a little bit of Utah Jazz territory. And I'm not really comparing the players, but like, you're paying your center the most money on your team. This ain't 2000 anymore. Like, I'm just not sure about that.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you rather have? And I'll go to you first, Willie. Gobert or Ayton?
I'd rather have Ayton.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit more athletic than Gobert. His offensive game is evolving more than Gobert's has up to this point. But that doesn't mean that Gobert sucks at all. That's not what that means. And Gobert is a perennial contender for Defensive Player of the Year. So he's great in that aspect. And then, of course, a lot of it is going to depend on the team that they're on. Now, if you would take DeAndre Ayton and put him on the Jazz, I don't think he would be nearly as effective with the Jazz as he is with the Suns, and vice versa with Gobert, because of the type of sets that they run offensively. So it's to me, Ayton has gone from being a borderline bust to could be potentially the most improved player in the NBA next year and win that award.
I could see that, but I think Ayton would be great on the Utah Jazz because he offers more offense and they play good team defense already. The problem with the Jazz is Rudy Gobert offers nothing offensively. It doesn't matter if he wins defensive MVP. You get to the playoffs and he's getting dunked on by Terrence Mann. Like, I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see Paul George being able to, like, take you away from the basket, body you, and get a foul, get an easy bucket. So, like, to me, it's head and shoulders. I go Ayton. And Brian, you're on the Ayton train on that question?
Yeah, I'm somebody who's been pretty anti-Gobert. You guys kind of mentioned some of those points where he's atrocious on offense. And, it's the same way, moving the same way in the NFL, but I think is even more so in the NBA. It's an offensive league. Offense beats defense, right? And he's a good defender. He's a great defender, but really he's a great team defender. He's not the individual defender that we've seen from the center position in the past. Like, he's not Hakeem defensively. He's not. And like you guys mentioned, he gets dunked on in these playoffs. That can't happen. If you're the defense player of the year, you're giving me squad douche on offense, then you got to be just insane on the defensive side, especially getting paid $200 million. So I'm going with Ayton for the upside, but I do agree. I think Willie brought it up. Like, I do think Ayton comes down just a step offensively if he was with the Jazz, and I think Gobert comes up just a tiny bit if he was with the Suns, right? Like, he would have more pick and roll opportunities with easy rolls, finishing on small guys, but he can't catch. So it's not like he would be able to take full advantage of those opportunities. Another rebound for Giannis. Let's go.
Let's get it. All right. I got to check in here. We just hit a commercial on my end. And Felke, why aren't the Bucks
early on that?
Yes, I agree. Like, and I've been saying this the entire postseason with the Bucks is like, I don't see anybody who just wants to hit the finish button early on in games and try and bury teams. Like, where is this, like, hey, we're about to win an NBA title and let's just go all, full tilt on defense and let's just be efficient and move the ball and really be aggressive on offense. I don't see it. I see a team that's like, feels like they're happy to be there.
I think that's going to happen when you have a lot of guys that aren't very confident in their shot. How confident is Khris Middleton really feeling right now? You know what I'm saying?
You just touched my sensitive spot there because, like, Khris Middleton is one of those guys where I'm like, bro, just get confident. Like, do you know how good of a shooter you are? Like, I always hear about the 40, 50, 90 guys. Khris Middleton, like, knocks on that door every year. Like, he really should be getting more shots. Okay, Bolster, let's approach this now since we're in a commercial break. You said that Middleton was garbage in the first two games. He was good in the first game. I wouldn't say great because he had 6 turnovers, and I don't like the 6 turnovers. But he shot like 40-something% from 3, 40%, like mid-40s from the floor, had 29 points. And Giannis was the one that was a little more disappointing on the offensive end in that game. But in game 2, you can't have 11 points in the NBA fun. You just can't do it. Like, you can't. And then to make matters worse for me, who's been saying Devin Booker is overrated, Devin Booker did exactly what I love from a player, and that's crush it in the fourth quarter. He crushed it in the fourth quarter of game 2.
So
Tony,
go ahead, Willie.
Oh, I'm sorry. So, Tony, you're saying that you think that Devin Booker is overrated?
Oh, yeah. There's no question. When I hear Stephen A. Smith come on air and go, oh, he's the next Kobe Bryant, and I'm like, really, Stephen? Really? How about games 2 through 6 where he didn't do anything in that series? Oh, well, he had a broken nose. Okay, fine. I'm just saying it's too inconsistent to be comparing him to one of the best basketball players we've ever seen. That's all I'm saying. I think he can be great. It's just too soon for me.
And I can understand that point. But I think what Stephen A. is looking at is this being his first playoff run and what he's done from the first round against the Lakers to the second round against the Nuggets to the third round against the Clippers up into the broken nose part. He has displayed all of the Black Mamba type mentality type of actions that you look for in a player that is seeking to be great. And I know Kobe Bryant told Devin Booker go out and be great, and he had done that pretty consistently up until the time he got the broken nose.
Well, that's
so I just got to say,
it doesn't do anything for me.
I just got to say, I'm with Tony here, and overrated doesn't mean bad. But Devin Booker is he's overrated. I get kind of where you were hitting at in terms of Devin Booker. The similarities with Kobe is like he's a guy that's not going to lose confidence in his shot. He's going to keep putting them up. He scores on all 3 levels. He still has a mid-range game, which is nice to see. But he's just not that level of athlete, to say the very least. And like Tony mentioned, he's had some big games in these playoffs, but I think that's overshadowing a lot of 8 for 22 games. Like a lot of 8 for 22 games, and he's not the defensive player that a lot of times our elite guys in the league are. He's not much of a distributor to the level of an elite player, and I think he's starting to get mentioned as an elite player. And really, I think he's more like maybe 18th best in the league. I think that's more like where he's at.
Bolster, I will carry you to a mountaintop for you to shout that, what you just went on, my friend. That was fantastic, everything I said, because I'm always talking about the defenders. I did a shooting guard list. Like, if we're going to make a level of who's elite, we need to know what it is. And it is, let's say, the top 10% at your position. Well, he's already not the best point guard on his own team. I mean, he's not better than Dame, Luka, or Steph for that matter. You go to shooting guard, and you have 2 shooting guards in Brooklyn, and I'd take Paul George over him because he plays defense. And then everybody's like, oh, well, Paul George chokes. And I'm like, Paul George is fine. Good players have bad games. That's what it is. I'm just saying, like, I'll take a player who can score but also offers me something as a wing defender. And not saying that he can't pass him.
I will say, Tony, I'm taking Devin Booker over Khris Middleton, though. That's for sure.
Get out of here with your hatred. Get out of here. Hey, Brian, real quick, did you see, this is Felke. I love Felke. Did you see this comment right here?
Joe Harris. Oh, my gosh. Shout out Joe Harris. One of the worst playoff series, like, ever.
Welcome, Minty. Welcome, Minty Ross. Is this supposed to be Minty Ross?
Yeah.
What's up, Minty?
Sounds like a never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I don't even know where I'm at here. Brian had me on a good train for a second, and then he had to like swoop around and just catch me with a hook. I didn't see it coming.
I mean, I really think they're very similar players. Devin Booker and Khris Middleton.
Hang on, who's the better defender?
Between Middleton and Booker?
Middleton's a better defender. He's 6'7". At least he can bother people. I don't think he's a great defender. Who's a better three-point shooter?
I say Booker is.
3-point?
Okay.
Now I'll give you time to research that one because Booker has a better mid-range game, but Khris Middleton shoots like 42% from 3.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh, come on. I'll get out of here, Booker. That's right. Let the Boo Birds have it. That's where I want to see his big brother come running off the bench and just knee him in the back of the head. What's going on? You can't treat him like that.
Here's the thing. We have some good stats for Khris Middleton, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my man's career high is 20.9 points per game, right? He's really a fringe 20-point per game career scorer, where basically the last 4 years, I guess we can call kind of his prime, it's 20, 18, 20, and 20. So volume matters, and being that scoring option matters. Hey, Chris Paul is the best player on the Suns. I fully believe that. But Devin Booker is their number one scoring option in most games. And he obviously was before Chris Paul's arrival. So that's always going to bring down your efficiency some. I mean, in my estimation, when it comes to facilitating, I would give Devin Booker the slight edge. I'm giving Booker the edge in scoring, which is the most important probably. And then Middleton gets a slight edge in rebounding and in defense, right? So I'm going with the more offensively talented player in Booker.
In this day and age, that's probably the better option and the better choice.
I'm not disagreeing with you guys. And here's the problem why it's so hard for me to fight back. I can't inject Khris Middleton with the confidence that his game deserves. That's what I'm saying. I can't force him to be like, you should be calling for the ball. You should be saying, this is my time. This is my area, like whatever it is. Giannis, he should be getting the ball and pointing and saying, Giannis, get down there in that area where you dominate. You shouldn't need to dribble through a wall. You should be working with Hakeem in the offseason so that I can dump the ball down there in the post. You can hit him with a little bit of that Greek shake, hit him with a little bit of that Greek salad dressing, boom, and slide it into the bucket. But we're not getting that from him. we're getting him trying to dribble through 4 defenders. And again, like I said before, Giannis will be Patrick Ewing. He'll be a great player who won't win a championship. I'm cheering for the Bucks.
I got a new name for a move that Giannis can actually perfect. Since he's from Greece, okay. he can come up with the Euro step.
I get where you go with that. With the gyro step. Gyro step. Yeah. It depends on where you're from. Euro, gyro. But yeah, I like it. The little tzatziki step, right? Isn't that the sauce they put on those? The tzatziki sauce?
I have no idea. Eaten a gyro since like 93.
They're all over here in LA. That's the only reason I know. So I'm like, hey, what's the name of that white sauce? They tell me every time. I'm like, I'll never remember.
Okay, Tony. So you're in LA then, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be out there next weekend.
For what's in LA that anybody would want to come to? Family or better be?
We are going on vacation. My wife and I will be celebrating our 8 years of marriage.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. So we're going to be flying into Long Beach next Sunday. We're going to drive down to San Diego and spend some days there, and then come back up to LA and spend some days there before we come back to Texas.
I love it, man. I actually have a theory that you guys get to San Diego and you're like, did you see what happened to LA? The Mad Max Terradome that's going on up there? Like, let's just stay in San Diego.
Yeah.
Long Beach is probably better than going to actual LA. Like, my wife and I, we just moved out of the city because it's insane.
Yeah. Well, although I grew up the first part of my life in the Bay Area, I've actually never visited LA, and I've never been to San Diego whatsoever. So, it's one of those bucket list things.
Well, it'll be a quick trip. I'll tell you that. Like it's in rough shape right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's weird. I had friends saying, "Oh, I want to come out and I want to do this and that and whatever." I'm like, it's just not a really great time for any of that stuff. Look at that. Why can't we see this all the time, Bolster? This is what I'm talking about. Why doesn't he do that?
You know why? Because
don't say because he can't.
Your mental game counts.
I get it.
What do you want me to say?
I know. That's why I just want to send him a tape that says, Christopher, are you aware that you're 6'7"? You can shoot over almost anybody in the league. You have a post game. You can shoot the 3. He should be trying to get fouled. He shoots 90% from the line.
Well, that's the last point, Tony. And with that last play, it's a great swing through, drive to the rim. Like, when he drives the ball, it's a shock every time. Like, wow, he actually took it to the rim and finished. He never does that. And that would be the key for him to stay more efficient, have less ebbs and flows to his games in these series, and get his point total up a little bit more consistently. Because, like you said, he's all reliable on the free throw line. But to be there, it's a mentality. We've seen it with a lot of modern-day scorers. They love the jump shot. Jason Tatum, he's one that I've loved. He's a guy that's putting up 25 to 28 points a game. And for a lot of his career was shooting 2 free throws a game or less. Like, that's just far too little if you're going to be an elite player.
Yeah. Oh, if people think I'm obnoxious about Middleton, wait for about 18 months how I'm going to be with Jason Tatum defending that young man. He's one of my favorite players. I just want to throw this up on the screen because we are trying to make our push to 1,000 subs.
Oh, we're close.
The Warzone Sports Network, and I just came in that we are at 993. If you are on YouTube, it would mean so much to us if you could just smash that subscribe button and move us a little bit closer. Now, if I remove this, what happens to my scoreboard?
Guess what I'm about to do?
Boom. I'm not even a pro. What is that, Willie? What's happening?
I am going to be the 994.
Oh, let's go.
I love it. Willie. Normally Joe and Mike are here to do dumb things like chant subscriber names with me, but I'll do it. I got it.
Oh, man.
Second half, I'm going to pour myself another glass of whiskey. I'll be singing anybody who comes in. I'll be hitting you with a little bit of that Frankie Valli.
There you go.
That's super falsetto. Everybody will be like, unsubscribe.
994.
Appreciate
you, Willie.
Thank
That's
you.
clutch, man.
There it is. It's almost like that's like smoother than a Khris Middleton bucket right there. And those are one of my favorite things. Just easy. I've
just never seen anybody that's like as big a fan of
a player,
a middling all-star. That's not 21. You know, like he's a good player. That's it. Like Khris Middleton is like such an afterthought. That guy needs to send you like thank you letters or something because he has never been mentioned so much.
I mean, for real, and it's not that his game is terrible. It's just that I think he and Giannis Antetokounmpo have the same type of basketball mindset, in that neither one of them really want to be the guy that takes over.
Wait, say that again? Him and who?
Well, I think Giannis does have it. He just doesn't quite have the game. Because, let's go back. And of course, it exhibits itself mentally. You're going to make bad decisions down the stretch of games, right? Which we see Giannis doing. Turnovers all of a sudden become a problem. Kind of happens with Khris Middleton, too, because of the lack of confidence. Giannis is not lack of confidence, lack of skill set. And, I've compared Giannis, like current Giannis, to early LeBron, like 2011 LeBron, where I think it's evidence now his struggles late in games, which he had major struggles late in games, major struggles in fourth quarters, wasn't, I don't think, ultimately the mindset. It was the skill set that was leading to deficiencies, which then causes you to second guess yourself, right? Like LeBron was the ultimate freak athlete. He could shoot it a little bit better than Giannis, but he struggled. His handle wasn't as tight, and he couldn't trust the jump shot nor the free throw. And I think that's why we saw some of that stuff exhibited. And ultimately, right, that's going to become a mental thing when you fail physically. So I think it's like that with Giannis. I love Giannis's mentality, to be quite honest with you. He just can't shoot outside of 5 feet.
Yeah.
I would give him 8 feet.
Because of that wingspan, right? So really a 3-foot shot. So I feel like
and also too, like 8 feet, like anything around 8 feet, I don't feel good about it. Like I'm just like every time I'm like, why'd you take that shot? You could have took one more dribble or step and gotten an easier bucket, a more efficient move there. Like if you're that close, just get a little bit closer. I know you can do it.
So, Brian, let me ask you this question, Brian, about what you just said about Giannis and his skill set. Because whether you have the tools that can propel you to that next level of a player, the tools, not the act or the ability, but not the actual ability to put it all together when it matters the most. That will weigh on your mindset at those critical points of the game, and knowing that you are, because Giannis's game has a lot of flaws, guys. It has a lot of flaws. Now that's not to say he's not a great player, because he is, but he needs to work for a player that's considered to be a superstar by the so-called experts. Giannis can't shoot free throws. He doesn't have a mid-range game. Yep. He doesn't have a 3-point game. So if you're lacking in those 3 critical areas to be considered a superstar, how can you be really considered a superstar?
And so, Willie, and the last one, I think maybe is almost the most important, which kind of separates him from earlier LeBron a little bit, is the facilitator. He's not much of a passer either. Right. So I'm somebody who's been critical of Giannis. I've questioned, and this year, I don't want to say it's a fluke and we get into that conversation, but I do question his ability to be the number one player on its championship team. I do question that. What I mean about the mindset.
As his game is right now, not to say that he can't develop into that.
Yes, exactly. Right. So when I'm talking about the mindset versus the skill set, it's a little bit of like the chicken or the egg. And what I mean by that is, again, I go back to like early LeBron. Was it the mindset that was causing the physical failure, or was it the lack of the physical skill set that was causing the mental breakdown? I think that honestly for both players, it was the lack of the physical skill set that then is causing you to make bad decisions and not trust your jumper. So now you're having confidence issues. I get they go hand in hand. You can't completely separate them. But I think Giannis is that kind of worker where he's never going to be a great shooter, but I think he's going to expand his skill set, and we're going to be looking at a player who is really hitting his prime in 2 years from now.
Okay, Khris Middleton must have just done something phenomenal.
I know, I didn't see it.
All he's got to do is get a bucket. That's it. That's all he has to do.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm easy to please, Willie. That's all I'm saying.
The Bucks, they have two Robins. Middleton is a Robin, and Giannis is a Robin. But the thing is that Giannis has Superman or Batman talent, but the way he puts it together is Robinish. And Khris Middleton, like you said earlier, TT, he's not the best player on his team. You know, he's not even the best player on that front line or at that division with 3s, 4s, and 5s. So go ahead.
This is all I want to say is his talent, his ability is number one ability is what I'm saying. It's it's what Brian was saying, and I think you're getting at too. It's the mindset of both of these guys hasn't taken the jump into, hey, they look at it. So I did a video, Willie, where I compared what they were, because I don't love the Batman Robin. It feels very Jordan Pippen-ish, but this should be more Shaq and fill in the blank. You know, like, and I went Shaq and Penny Hardaway. You know, like, because they're not. Middleton can't be Kobe. He really can't be Dwayne Wade, but he could be Penny Hardaway, and that together could have won a championship if they would have stayed together long enough. And they didn't have Brian Hill as the coach. But if Shaq would have stayed in Orlando, Penny's there. That's a championship basketball team. There's a formula to it, but they're not doing their parts. They're.
By the way, I just feel like it has to be mentioned for our prize picks. We are aware that Deandre Ayton has already cleared his over of 15.5 points.
Oh, I get it. So, I saw it. I know. He's giving.
I just wanted to make sure. Cha-ching. Cha-ching.
Yeah. He's giving them the business. Like,
it's just come really easy. Like, it's just been a really easy, almost you don't even notice it, 16 points. Like, just quick dump offs and, you know, taking Connaughton down in the paint. But
he's had a couple jumpers too. Like, it hasn't all been just sort of running into the rim. He's kind of shown off on, like, you know, some back to the basket moves. You know, let's say half of them or more are the sort of points that he typically gets. But he's also showing off a little bit. So
under on Booker's looking good. Knock on wood.
Yes, it is. It was looking good in the last game too, and then he got hot in the fourth quarter. But between me, you, Willie, and the thousands of people watching, I hope he goes under. I have Devin Booker at over 43 fantasy points. But, like, you know, I want him to get there, but I won't be upset if he doesn't. Where's Connaughton at? This is the thing that I love, is usually Mike or Joe rips out their phone and they're like, give me points and stats and assists, but not today, my friend. How is Joe doing? I also can't see. I got to make my screen.
Well, Middleton's off to a good start. He's got 13, so he's halfway to his over. You've got a Giannis with 11 and 6. So a little slow on the points, but rebounds, he's on pace to get his over. But it's the bench for the Bucks that's giving them absolutely nothing. Connaughton, who I got with the over on his 3-point shots made last game, he's got a good goose egg pretty much across the board. Forbes, nothing. Teague, nothing. You know, and then Portis is giving him 4 points, and that's really it. Oh, PJ Tucker, goose egg. He needs to play less and less.
Oh, Uncle PJ, come on! What is going on with that? I gotta get
also one thing to note that's pretty interesting is Mikal Bridges, who's had a really good start to this series, and in particular, game 2 went for 27 points, has 0 points. So he hadn't even taken a shot yet. I think they would be getting him more involved if DeAndre Ayton wasn't just absolutely killing the Bucks. I mean, he's 7 for 8. Chris Paul 5 for 7. Really, it's Devin Booker. If he was a little bit more efficient, then I think we see the Suns with a good 7 point lead.
And here's the thing about that, because I was just about to comment on that. If you're the Phoenix Suns and you are hashtag We Are the Valley, hashtag Rally the Valley, and you're down by 1 just over halfway through the second quarter, and Devin Booker only has 5 points, you're probably feeling pretty good about yourselves.
I
no doubt.
I definitely agree with that because you got him, like he said, Bridges hasn't had any points yet. There's a couple of people that could really start to take off right now for the Suns. It's been like that the whole time, right? Cameron Payne has come out of nowhere in a bunch of these games where all of a sudden he just takes off and he fills it up in 1 quarter and puts in double-digit points. So, this is the Bucks. This is not looking good for this series to extend. This is, to me, playing exactly how the Suns would like it to play.
Yeah, and when you have, like I said, arguably your best player that's not really playing that well right now, going into the second half, in which he does shine in the second half. If I'm a Bucks fan, or if I'm actually a Bucks player or somebody in the organization, like Cedric the Entertainer once said, I've got concerns. I've got some concerns.
Here's the thing is that there is half a quarter to go. And right now we need to see the Milwaukee Bucks say, we want to win an NBA title just as much as CP3, the NBA fan darling. They need to close this quarter to me with a statement saying, just go home, start your rehab early at halftime, CP3. I want to see the Bucks really go on a run, make this at least a double-digit game at halftime, because Suns aren't playing bad or aren't playing good, so just put them to sleep.
Well, that's that mindset thing that we've talked about. Do they actually have that? Because if it were Michael Jordan, he would sense the same things that we're sensing. If it was Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, Shaquille O'Neal, they would be sensing the same things that we're talking about, PT. And I know that if we see it as fans, they have to be able to see it as players.
Yeah. I mean, even if you're Coach Bud, you have to be in the timeout saying, all right, guys, we're playing good defense. We're the reason that they're doing bad. Even if you aren't, even if they're just missing open shots, it's your job as a coach to elevate the mindset of your team.
Exactly. Which is a surprise too, because he's part of the Greg Popovich coaching tree. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Yeah. That's a bit of a surprise. And as we just talked about Devin Booker, he makes a 17-footer right after or right before that. It is before Brook Lopez actually misses a 3-pointer himself. So look out for that.
Oh my, you cannot give up baskets to the backup center. You can't.
Frank Kaminsky.
This isn't good.
Didn't he win the Wooden Award, or was in the running for it that senior year when he was with Wisconsin?
Oh, I mean, sure. Here's the thing. I don't know if you remember guys like Jimmer Fredette and Morrison, Adam Morrison. There's a lot of guys. There was a guy that I used to love from Duke named Trajan Langdon. They called him the Alaskan Assassin. And I was like, he's going to be so good when he gets to the NBA. He played about 16 and a half seconds for the Toronto Raptors, and I think he retired. It was so quick. Some of these, guys that have they play 4 years, they're 21, 22, and they're able to dominate younger competition.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's Yeah, well, you see, like when you get to the NBA, it's just a different beast.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. I mean, just to put on an NBA jersey, like you get to be on the active roster. That was like, shout out to Jay the Plug here. Jay is a part of the Warzone Sports Network. He just did an interview with Jacoby Jones, and Jacoby had his thought process is that everybody that that puts on a jersey in an NFL Sunday game, he considers them to be on a GOAT level. Just to be able to walk in that locker room and say, I made the roster, I'm on the practice, like I'm in an elite fraternity of human beings. Like that is a GOAT level achievement that he had.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fully agree with that, but what I do like about it is the mindset of reminding people how rare it is to play on this type of a level. Like this is not something that I wanted to play professional sports when I was a kid. I wanted to play hockey, but like it didn't matter, that like I was far away from ever lacing up my skates and going toe to toe with like Jaromir Jagr and Mario Lemieux.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just was never going to happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was never even in the cards. And I knew guys that got to the NHL but never played. And people would be like, oh, he busted out. Really? Did he bust? He made it way farther than anybody we know.
Look at these comments coming through here, TT.
Oh, the comments section is going crazy. Normally what happens, I'm not going to lie, Willie. Normally what happens is that Mike or Joe are really good about running the comments. Brian, does Brian need...
Yeah.
Brian, did you want to be in or out? Do you want to be out? I don't know what's going on.
No, it is good. I'm good. I'm back.
Okay. So here's the I'll be right back. Okay, yeah. Brian, I'm not as good as Mike and Joe and everybody. So you have to verbally say, hey, I'll be right back. Or I won't check. Because I don't have the ability to multitask. Like normally I would be calling out Falke for all the crazy stuff that he's saying in this chat. But I just can't.
All Pepperton had. I got to give him some credit. Usually he's not very funny. His comments, you just brush them off, right?
Here? Is this what you want on the screen?
No. See, usually he's pretty mediocre, right? He's pretty mediocre. But I liked his comment saying the Milwaukee Bucks are a team full of Bryans and Tonys. I thought that was pretty funny.
I did not see that one. Let's give that some love for Pepper. Whereas Pepperton, I don't know where the comment went. You finally had something that made us smile, and it'll never be seen in the light of day. Here it is.
Is he a regular?
Here it is. Yeah,
Pepperton's a regular.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's sort of like, we have a bunch of trolls that join us for these lives, Willie, you'll get to know them. Some are worse than others. We had one guy who's a Bucks fan who was coming in here and just going after some of the people. But Felke likes to make fun of me because I'm a little bit older, but it's all good. I enjoy that. It's fine.
People like that aspire to get to where you are.
I hope they do. I really do.
Yeah.
Booker, 2 for 10. Man, he's getting that volume up though. He is. He's getting that volume up.
It can all be erased with a fourth quarter. He was pretty pedestrian in the last game in the first. Like I was getting ready before that fourth quarter started to go on a rant during the live stream about Devin Booker, and then he hit a 3, and I kind of sat back and was like, well, let's just see if he. And then he hit another 3, and I was like, oh no, here it comes. Oh shit, he's about to go in.
Like we said, he's gonna keep firing, and that's exactly what I need Brook Lopez to do. 0 for 3. On his 3-point shots. Come on, man.
He took a step back when you were gone, and I was like, come on, go in. That's the other thing I love about Prize Picks, Brian, is because I'm like cheering for other people to win. I'm like, go ahead. Steal that cash.
That's right, Tony. We all got to team up, against the bookie. Like, we all got to team up against Vegas. It's us against – yeah, that's right.
Take down the house.
Okay, for all you watchers out there that are checking this out on YouTube and Twitch and wherever else, you see the sign in the right-hand corner. It says Road to 1K subs. 994 is where Warzone is. We want you guys to get out there and subscribe before halftime.
There it is.
1,000 before halftime. Come on, we got 2.5 minutes left to go in the half. 1,000 before halftime. Let's go.
Willie, you just made Mike's heart sing. Wherever Mike is, Mike's like, Tony, that's your job. But what you just did is absolutely fantastic. Oh, suck it, Booker!
A PJ Tucker appearance. PJ Tucker making an appearance. But nah, hey.
Willie, what did I say they had to do before halftime? What did I want the Bucks to do before halftime?
Exactly what they're doing. And this is what they needed to do. They needed to do this for their own confidence, not just in what you said. Oh, we're happy to be here.
Yep. I want them to go full salt and pepper, Willie. Push it. Push it real good. Right there. That's what I want. Push it real good. That's what I just make this score like a 15-point lead at halftime and just let it. But I will say this real quick. About a minute and a half ago, Khris Middleton had the thing that I hate more than anything else. He had a chance to drive and get a foul. Brian, did you see that? He was on leading a fast break after he got his steal.
Yeah, I saw.
And he passed the ball to PJ Tucker in the corner. Bro, you are 6'7" and can finish at the rim. Try and get the foul or try and get an and one. Like, you have to, and he just doesn't do it.
The only pass I'll give him there is, like, in those situations, it's just modern basketball. Like, you give up the rim for a three. Like, you do. Yeah, corner threes, man. Tony singing. Oh, my gosh, man.
Take a hike, Pepperton.
I couldn't even get it out, man. I was laughing so hard.
Well, Brian, you don't really believe
Portis.
Man, you don't believe
No,
that.
I'm not saying that they should. I'm not saying that they should, especially I think you got to know your personnel. Like for PJ Tucker, like hold on to that thing and get fouled. I'm with you. I'm just saying in modern basketball, like that's how the NBA is played. Especially if it's going to be contested. But we see players give up the wide open layup for a corner three. But especially if it's going to be contested, they're kicking that thing pretty much all the time. Now, I'm with you. I wish you'd be more aggressive. I think you could win games on the free throw line. That's me. But maybe I'm too old school.
The thing that I hate the most that people do on a fast break is pull up for a three. But if you're telling me Middleton's either going to pass the ball and not go strong to the hole or pull up for a three, I prefer that he pulls up for a three because at least that shows he wants to be aggressive and wants to win. It like wants to be the guy that's like, I can take you to the mountaintop. But he doesn't. He doesn't want to be that guy, and it breaks my heart because I just sit here and bang the drum. I bang on the trash cans like I'm from the Houston Astros team all day long, and we get nothing. We get nothing.
There's only a couple players that I really feel fine with them. You know, the wide open fast break, and they pull up for three, and that's really just Steph. Yeah, like that's Steph and Dame. And after that, I'd really rather everybody just take it to the rim, take your two. But Steph, I'll give the pass.
I'm on that same wavelength. What's that, Willie?
Yeah, you have to put Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant in that category too.
Definitely Klay. KD, I think, is a little bit more on the fence, to be quite honest with you. But you know what? He's one. Okay, I give him the pass. But Klay, you're exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of splitting hairs with KD because you would be good either way. And I just think back to that game. I think it was Game 4 in Cleveland when he stepped up and just put it in LeBron's face, albeit it wasn't on a fast break. But the confidence that dude has, man, to be able to do that, I'm saying, yeah, he's in that category.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% in that situation where it's like the secondary transition. It's not a full-blown fast break. Yeah, stepping into a three, 100% with you. I'm talking like fast break, like you're wide open. You basically have the two. The reason I would say KD take it to the rack is he has much more finishing skills and is going to be able to finish stronger than a Klay Thompson, a Damian Lillard, and a Steph is.
And a lot of
so it's more of it.
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's 6'11" with a 28-foot wingspan.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, TT's over there clapping, man. What's going on, T?
His boy Middleton's making some free throws.
Hell yeah, he is.
Giannis racking up those rebounds. I just need Brook Lopez. Come on, man.
Oh, wow. This half ended exactly how I was. Okay, Brian, when you stepped away, one of the things that I was talking to Willie about was what the Bucks needed to do, and that was to push this lead to double digits at minimum and, like, really just sort of, like, send a message that said, hey, CP3, you can start your, post-game therapy a little soon. Loosen it up, take it off. Now, they didn't quite get to that kind of a lead, but at least they're saying, like, hey, we're here. We want to make this a series. We can play on our home court. And we know that if Middleton and Jrue Holiday can show up for one game in Phoenix, we can be hoisting an NBA Finals trophy.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I told people after this game 2 is don't panic. The Bucks haven't lost a home game yet. That's the old saying, is the series doesn't start until a home team loses. And things weren't looking good, don't get me wrong. But you just don't panic yet. They have some answers if their number 2 and number 3 just show up at all. Giannis, I don't know if he's 100%, but he's playing great basketball. And then I really believe that the Phoenix Suns, their young players, were going to struggle just a little bit on the road. Maybe not necessarily Devin Booker, although, me and Tony have been on that same bandwagon. I don't think he's going to be very efficient, but more just like your Cam Johnson, your Cam Payne, Mikal Bridges are likely to all take a step back, young players on the road, right? And what I think the key was, Tony, you hit the nail on the head with your points, but I think it's really important that the Bucks dominate the minutes that Chris Paul's on the bench. Like, if Chris Paul's not in the game, you have to win those minutes. And that's really where they pulled away in that second quarter.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing. That's exactly what they did. And I don't know. I don't know how much of a game time rest it was, but it felt as though it was forever as we now see that they have a 15-point lead at halftime. Guys, I got to step out of here, man. Appreciate you guys allowing me to be a part of this great program and this great project. Whenever you want me to come back on, I am willing and I am ready.
Willie, yeah, we'll exchange emails privately off. I'll reach out to you. Thank you so much. You've been tremendous. Really appreciate you getting in here and sharing your opinions. Can't wait to have you back on. And like I said, we'll be doing it for baseball, football, for all live sports. Again, that is Shakeback Media Group on YouTube. Go over there, subscribe to Willie, check out all the wonderful things that he has going on his platforms on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Willie's taking over the world. And congratulations on 8 years of marriage, my friend.
Yeah.
No, congrats, Willie.
There it is.
Congrats, man. Appreciate you.
Stay in San Diego. We'll talk to you later, brother.
All right, man. Y'all be good.
Peace.
All right. Later.
Bolster.
Hey, classy San Diego.
Oh, my goodness. Speaking of San Diego, I'm running to fill up my drink. You want to
halftime this thing?
Yeah. Or what do you want to do?
I'm down for it. Let's do it.
Okay, so let's hit this. We'll be right back thing. We'll sit it out for halftime. We'll come back. We'll look at our prize picks. We'll update the watch, the subscribe meter that's going on.
Wait, Tony, I got to say something. Shut up, little chop. We don't want to hear this shit in our chat.
What did he say? I didn't even see.
He's trying to get people to go to some spammy link.
Oh, who's putting the comments up? Is Joe running this time?
No, I did it. I just want to tell him to stop.
Oh, okay. Suns winning for it. Robson, one of your many bad takes, like being a Jets fan and Zach Wilson. Congratulations. Welcome to the chat, Robson. Robson is not going to curry a lot of favor in a room with me and Bolster to get together. It's just not going to – things aren't going to shake out his way. I know he thinks already that you have it out for him, and it's just because he's so degrading of Sam Darnold.
Yeah, man. You combine the Sam Darnold slander with the Baker love. Like, nah.
Ain't gonna fly. I can't. I'm so excited for football season. Mike, you run it. You do whatever you want to do. I'm going to have a drink and check on my children, make sure everybody's still alive, breathing, and social services isn't knocking at my door.
Sounds good to me, Brian. We'll be back for the third quarter.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Halftime starting, halftime ending, halftime something happening over here. Still a 15-point lead. I'm going to go back to this graphic here so I can check in and see how everybody's doing on their prize picks. A reminder that if you would like to join us on prize picks, please do so. Go over, download the app, enter the promo code WARZONE, and they will match up to $100 on your first deposit. It is great. Finding the graphic. Boom, there it is. Here we go. We're back at it. Let's see. Okay. So I'm looking to get, looks like another 11 points from Khris Middleton. Connaughton, be nice if he could dent some twine. Giannis, what's the rebound? Ray Allen shot could happen. But then again, it couldn't, okay? But then again, it could not. Ayton already crushed that, and Devin Booker, fantasy points. I do not believe he is having a very good game. My card not looking so hot, but we got a whole second half. Joe, over 5 assists. Let me bring up these. Mike, are you in here? Who jumped in with me? Can't see. Anybody jump in here?
What's up, Tony?
Sure did. Not a whole lot. I was trying to bring up and see what the stats were like. I was saying I need another 11 points from Khris Middleton.
He's going to get that. He'll get that. Giannis is going to get his rebounds. I just think for me, it's going to come down to Brook Lopez getting a 3. That's looking doubtful now. Starting over 3, man. You better hit one here quick. And then Devin Booker, obviously I feel great. Oh, wow. That was a pretty hard foul from Ayton. Like, it almost makes me think like that's a modern day flagrant, to be quite honest with you. But Devin Booker is obviously not playing well, not shooting the ball well, so I feel really good about the under 28 points, although he may just jack up another 15 shots and get it.
Yeah, I mean, he might get there. I have him at 43 fantasy points, and he's not really filling the stat sheet at all. 3 rebounds and an assist, 9 points. I don't know. Sounds like an elite player to me. I agree with everybody out there. Yeah. And Ayton's he had 18 in the first half. He's just absolutely crushing it. I do believe you are going to get a Brook Lopez wild 3-pointer. Is it over 0.5? Is that what you had to get?
It's 1. So I should be able to push if he just hits 1.
Yeah, they consider a push. They just lower it down, so then it's 2 out of whatever.
Yeah. So I still am holding out hope that he's going to hit 1 because I think he's going to get 2 more threes off. But I was really hoping for 2. I think that's pretty realistic. Game 1, he hit 3. Game 2, 0. But he's going to get a couple open threes each game. We've seen him with some open threes in this game. They're ones that he's got to hit, or he's going to start losing his minutes to PJ Tucker.
Yeah, which is not good for any of.
No.
That's what I like to see, Giannis. Get aggressive with it.
Jay Crowder just hit a 3 on my feed. Jay Crowder. That's what the Suns are going to need. They're going to need their 3-pointers to come back alive, which they can. They've got the shooters. They just haven't been doing too much this game.
Yeah, they did. I didn't realize it when I was watching the game, and that's sometimes part of the issue that I have with sitting on live streams is that I can't watch the game as closely as I'd like to. But I went back and looked at it, and I was like, oh, they actually made quite a bit of threes. I think they had double-digit threes in the last game. But somebody had a nice graphic where they showed the free throw disparity, the percentage in the game and the final score and what it was. And it's it's pretty glaring as to what,
yeah.
How it's,
neither team has shot the 3 well tonight, but the Suns, typically do shoot it pretty well. They're 3 for 15.
Yeah, there's a guy on the Bucks who's 2 for 3. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, the Bucks usually struggle, and they're 5 for 18.
Yeah, the Bucks are. I think they're one of the higher volume 3-point shooting teams in the league, and they make quite a bit of them.
Yeah, Booker's missed another free throw, which makes me happy.
It's potato for me. Everybody knows how I feel. It's not the only thing that's really going to change is when if I can reevaluate it. Right, it's what I always say: when new information comes in, allow yourself to take it in, based on what you think, does it change your opinion on what it is? If he's an NBA champion and he has more games like he had in game 2, where he's playing like garbage, and then the fourth quarter comes and he's really a part that puts you over the top, that to me is like, that's it. Like you have to be that from a primetime player.
Without a doubt. Your boy Middleton's making some hustle plays. Mikal Bridges has struggled a little bit this game.
He has, but I like him overall as a player, though. Like, if he was on,
I really like him.
If he was on the Lakers, like, I would be a fan of him. I like the way he hustles. I think he shoots the ball well. I think he gives a lot of energy on defense. Like, I would like him on the Lakers. I don't like him on the Suns, but I would love him on the Lakers.
I'm with you. He's more than just a 3-and-D guy, too. You know, he's one, I think, is kind of a classic case of if he was the player, the young player on a garbage team, on, let's say, the Pistons, he could be scoring 20 points per game.
I agree.
I feel very confident in that. So I think he's a little bit underrated, to be quite honest with you. And I think he's honestly the player that the Lakers were really missing this year. Like, you swap him out for Kuzma, who we were hoping Kuzma could be that guy, then the Lakers would have been a much more well-rounded team.
Kuzma's issue to me is that he just seeks approval too much. You know, like, he's always looking on defense to, like, make sure he's in the right spot from somebody else. Like, am I doing the right thing? Or, you know, like, am I allowed to take this shot? It's like, bro, you have a green light. If you're on the floor, like, go for it. But I can see how, like, he got yanked a couple times when he was putting up some crazy shots.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just the confidence. And I don't know. Sometimes I do wonder. I'm not sure that he's all that much of an instinctual player. I think he's somebody who thrived when he was on a really bad team, and he could be the number one option. The problem is he's not good enough to be a number one option on a team that's going to win any ball games. But Jay Crowder, man, another 3. He's playing well. He's keeping them kind of within distance here. Booker with another missed shot, man. He's really off tonight.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, it's coming, Bolster. Hang on.
Yeah, I was going to say, you must have seen something that I didn't, because I'm just nothing that exciting here. Here we go, a little train. Oh, wow. Oh, PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker, man.
Mike, can we get a memorial graphic for PJ Tucker's career real quick?
Getting bodied by Cam Johnson isn't the best look. Like, that wasn't – oh, man, Cam Johnson. But I always do respect the guy who tries to take the charge. Yeah, honestly, that's questionable that he might have gotten there. But, man, Cam Johnson didn't quite know you had it like that.
I'm a big fan of Cam Johnson, too. I actually like a lot of the players on the Suns. You know, if they were somewhere else, again, I would be singing their praises a lot more than I have been. Even Campaign to me has been very impressive. Like, if he can be your backup point guard, you got somebody in him that come in and fill it up. That's where I always loved Dennis Schroeder in that aspect, you know, where I was like, okay, it's fine. I don't want the Lakers to pay him $110 or $105 million to keep him around. Like, I've read some reports where they're like, the Lakers must sign Dennis Schroeder. I'm like, must sign him? Did you guys watch the game? Did you see the game where he had 0 points in a playoff? Must sign a guy who scored 0 points in a playoff game?
No, I was pumped up when they got him in the offseason. I was pumped up because, just like you're saying, you know, he's a guy that's your number 3, but he's that number 1 option on your second rotation. And he can fill it up at times. And then, man, he had his ups and downs during the season, but the playoffs are like, wow. $100 million. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. You got to let a team like the Knicks do that, or a team like the Pistons can make that move, not the Lakers. Come on now.
I wouldn't put my worst enemy's name on that check. Like I wouldn't want anybody having that look on their resume saying they gave him $120 million because it's not going to end up well for you.
I think maybe 80 million is a little bit more realistic. I mean, because you can't overreact too much from the playoffs, but more than 20 a year, like 4 for 80, I get that. That would be reasonable. If I'm the Lakers, I'd like to sign him to a shorter term deal, but I don't think they're going to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, that contract that they put out earlier, I think was 4 years, 85. And I was like, okay, I'm good with this. Like, this would be nice. I think they can add another piece. But like, as you were saying before, like if you swapped out Jeremy Grant for Kyle Kuzma, I'd be pumped. Like I really am a fan of Jeremy Grant. I think he gets it. I think he would understand what his role is with AD and LeBron. And if those two went off the floor, I think he would be like, okay, it's my turn. I get to look to create. I get to be the number one. I get to find shots. He can shoot. I think he's pretty efficient all around. I think he can score in different ways. So, like, I'd be happy with that. And then Kuzma could be an all-star. Kuzma could score 23 on a Pistons team that wins 6 games.
That's right, though. Like, it really is. People forget, like, Kuzma balled out there on, like, the worst Lakers team in the last, I don't know how many decades, but he was looking like a budding star. And I think sometimes, that can be fool's gold. Some of these young players, especially a certain prototype on these really bad teams. And I think, to be quite honest with you, I mean, this is something that I mulled over, Tony, and I'm interested in what you think. But I think there's at least 100 guys in the league that could score 20 points per game if they were given the green light. Like, hey, you're our number one option. I think there's like a good 100 players that could do it. Maybe more.
That's like, that's a high number because that's 3 per team, right? So like at least that's, more than that actually. But that's a lot. Because 20 points is a lot. I know that you think like, oh, well, Khris Middleton can score 20. Anybody can score 20. That's not like averaging 20 points a night. It's pretty difficult. It doesn't put you in rarefied air. But I think having the ability to be consistent from multiple spots, like you have to either be a good 3-point shooter, good from the foul line, and be aggressive. 100 guys, I'm going to disagree. That feels like a number that's too high. I probably would be closer to like 75 or 80. But yes, I do think there's a lot more guys because I think the number was 20 people in the NBA or less than 20?
I think it was more than that. I want to say, Tony, it was closer to 35. Like
35 people averaged 20 points?
Yeah, I can look it up real quick, but it was quite a few. I think it was like 15, almost 15. We're at 25 points per game or more.
Oh, it was just, did you do this graph? Maybe I did see a post where you did something where you were like, oh, in 1996, only 8 people averaged this or whatever. And in now 2021, where they don't call it Connaughton. Yes, 5.5 more points from Connaughton. Let's go.
Yeah, I think it was, if I'm off the top of my head, it was either 2000 or 2010. I believe it was just 2010. And the graphic was kind of like, in one decade, the numbers doubled in terms of numbers of scorers that were at 25 or more and then at 20 and more.
Well, one of the things that I used to talk a lot about and what kind of reminded me of them is when we were talking about Mikal Bridges is – I used to talk about how much better of a scorer Tayshaun Prince could have been had he been on another team. Like when I would watch him, he just had such an ability to score in different spots that he could have been a guy that easily could have averaged, 18 to 22 points a game had he played for a bad basketball team. But he played for a team that was like very sound fundamentally, ran the offense a certain way where Rip Hamilton like just basically ran circles until he got open for a little mid-range jumper, or they gave it to Rasheed in the post. Like it was a very particular style of game where they would only score 80 points a game,
Yeah, slow. That was a big 3 by Jrue Holiday. The Suns are really climbing back into this, and it looked like things were really heading a bad way before he hit that three. I've got it pulled up now. So in the year 2021, there were 43 players who averaged 20 points per game or more. I believe the number's like 38 if you have the games played qualifier at like 50. You have to had played at least 50 games. But these other guys were at 40 games, 41 games. And that's 43 players, Tony, actually did it. Come on now. That almost makes me think triple that. Yes, that almost makes me think like 120, 150 could do it if they were given the green light. Now, I'm not saying they're going to shoot 50% from the floor. Now, I'm also not saying, hey, they're going to shoot 20%. But like a little bit inefficient scoring to 20 points per game, I think it could happen. I mean, let's look at these teams right here. Giannis, Middleton, and Jrue Holiday. Yes, for all three, right?
Yeah, if you told me that they were going to get 20 shots a game because they were just on a bad team, then
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But then I go look at a team like the Grizzlies, and I'm like, so yes. But then like after that, Kyle Anderson,
Dylan Brooks,
Bain,
Dylan Brooks could.
Sure.
And then, honestly, Jaren Jackson Jr., he could. Not a guarantee, but he could. And Valanciunas, he could. So I think each team, you're getting 3 to 4. 3 to 4.
Okay, so hang on. Does this hurt or help my Middleton argument? Because he's getting 20 on a team that's in the NBA Finals. So it's better to get 20 on a team that's in the NBA Finals, correct? In your little theory that you're throwing out here?
No doubt. He's getting 20 a game as the number 2, which is value. The number 2, you aren't going to get the same looks. It's a little bit different with Giannis. And on a team, regardless of even the finals, that matters 100%. But a team that wins, like they win a lot over the last 3-4 seasons. So that 100% counts as opposed to the 20 points per game on the team with 7 wins and you're the number 1 option. Yeah. Those are two completely different things.
They win a lot without their number 1 guy too, which is important.
The Bucks?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, let's bring that up.
They beat the Hawks without Trae Young. I mean,
and like, they beat the Heat last year. I did see.
No, they didn't beat the Heat last year. They lost. They got spanked.
They lost 4-1. Do you know the one game they won?
Oh, no.
Who wasn't in the game? Who wasn't in the game for that one game? Who wasn't in the game for that one game? Just say his name. Giannis.
I'm sorry.
Khris Middleton was there.
You can't bring up that series.
I'm just saying.
Try to do anything positive for the Bucks.
They got to win.
Bucks player.
They got to win, and Middleton almost had a triple-double of like 38 points. Like it was a win. It was a good game.
Tony, I got to say, the triple-double, I hate it. I hate it now.
I do too.
It's like the most meaningless thing, which sounds like bizarre. It sounds backwards to say. But it is. It like just does not mean that much, especially with these small ball rosters or small ball lineups, especially with the usage rate for some of these players and them being so ball dominant without being the point guard, right? Like it just doesn't, it's not the same as it used to be. Put it that way.
Yeah, no, I agree with you because what's happened in the positionless basketball that we're watching now, where it's like Jay Crowder has made like 4 threes in this quarter alone. Like he would have never had this. He would have never even got to shoot 4 threes in a game. Like when I was young, like he would have been like a defensive guy that maybe got up like 4 shots in a game. Like it's just
he would have been standing 6 feet inside the free throw line or inside the 3-point line at all times. Like go back and watch games not even that long ago, Tony. Like especially, I'm a Lakers fan, you are too. Especially you want to go back even 20 years to the Lakers three-peat. To the Lakers three-peat, like man, everybody is within 20 feet. everybody on the whole floor. And that's the Lakers team with Kobe and Shaq, and they're, a great offensive team. There's nobody even close to the three-point line. Like Rick Fox, all those guys. Yeah, you didn't get any shots.
Oh yeah, you Robert Horry would leak out and just be wide open for a three, and he
was crazy hitting 2 threes a game. Yeah. It was like, holy cow. A three was the biggest momentum changing, like a home run. It was like, holy cow, a three. It felt like 8 points.
Well, I remember when I was like, oh, it's just gotten out of control, where I caught a game and it was on NBA TV a couple years ago, and it was Blake Griffin when he was still in Detroit. And the first 7 shots he took in the game were all three-pointers, and I was like, I don't even recognize what's going on. Like, what is happening? This guy who was dunking over Kia Optimas is now taking the first 7 shots from behind the three-point line. It's like, this isn't basketball. This is like this. It felt like it was produced by Ice Cube. It was like a tournament for nothing. It was like, there's no good basketball happening in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it really used to be a three-point shot is pretty much the last option. Like, it's pretty much just the last resort. You have to run through your sets. You have to make, multiple passes, get multiple looks before you can take a three. And even then, other than your couple sharp shooters and your elite players, it's pretty much just going to be an open shot. Like, yeah, we're going to give that to you, which is just crazy to think now, where they're so willing to run people off the three-point line. They're more willing to give up the layup than a three. Like, that's the last thing you want to give up.
I know, and it feels like the successful teams are the ones that take advantage of it. Like, the ones that, we've both talked about this privately, like how we're going to look back on this year and be like, these 2 teams were in the finals? Like, what happened to everybody else? Like, they went on vacation? Like, they quit basketball? Like, because we're looking at a time where it's like LeBron, like AD, KD, Hart. Like, there's a lot of people in here and teams that were together that were like, oh, these teams should have been in the finals. Like, on paper, we would look at it and be like, oh, no, neither one of these teams. Maybe the Bucks, because it's in the East. But
yeah,
really.
We would have thought they did it a lot differently.
Yeah.
Like, they made it kind of limping in.
Yes.
Not incredibly impressively. Like, we just got to say it. It just wasn't an incredibly impressive run. The Suns, it has been impressive, but it doesn't come without an asterisk. Like, it just does. I'm sorry. I've been kind of rooting for them. I want to see Chris Paul get his chip. But when every single series along the way, you're talking about a top-level player is injured and out for the other team, that matters. That doesn't necessarily mean that they lose, but it definitely would have gone a lot differently.
I agree. I've gotten into a couple huge disagreements about that. So this is one of welcome, Notch Whip. You're here. Leave Felke alone. I don't know what's going on already. Hey, Felke. He likes to call. Felke is just kept you up, right? Is a Raptors fan, and Notch Whip likes to remind him that LeBron James owned him for a decade or whatever. But this is what he has to welcome you here. This is Joe Morley's favorite troll. And I don't know if it's his favorite, but it's his biggest troll. He put, who is this off-brand Mike? Brian, the equivalent of Shaq to Shaq shoes?
That's hilarious. I had a pair of Shaq shoes, man.
Hell yeah, the pumps. Who didn't? I thought they could make me jump higher. Did you have a store that had Shaq's model shoe? Like, did you have a Foot Locker or anything like that where they got one of Shaq's shoes
actual
from Reebok,
Shaq,
and you could put it on?
I could put my whole foot and shoe in that shoe easily, with room to spare.
You could bring home an average sized baby in it if you wanted to. You could use it as a bassinet. It is so monstrous. It's humongous. It's like 22 inches, and like the side just to get your foot in it, the hole is ridiculously big.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take that as a compliment. He
already likes you. He likes it. He says this guy could take a joke. Big ups, Brian. Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Welcome, Notch. Your Bucks are playing good. I thought I would have saw you a little bit sooner. Well, we're looking at a 10-point lead here. Giannis making some free throws. How close are you to the stadium? I am curious about that, Notch, about how close you are.
See, in the watch party, I know they're having that outdoor watch party.
No, he's not. Notch is he seems angry. He seems like he wouldn't want to be around that many people without like insulting somebody. Felke was disagreeing with us on the fact that he was thinking that less guys than we thought could score 20 because you'd be more likely to double the number one scoring option. That's what I'm taking this as.
All right, so one example is if you just look at the Nuggets, right?
Yeah.
Murray, yes. Aaron Gordon, yes. Michael Porter Jr., yes. Nikola Jokic, yes, right? When they had Grant instead of Aaron Gordon, right, the previous season, obviously he can go to a bad team and put up 20-plus points. I think that's the evidence that points towards it. Like Jeremy Grant, the by far third option on that team, can easily go to a bad team and score 20. Like, I think we're forgetting just how talented some of these players are. And with the three-point shot, especially.
Yeah. Like, especially if you can score. If you can shoot it and you can make your free throws, because if you're aggressive, that's the difference between being a guy who scores 14 and a guy who scores 22, is that you are getting to the free throw line maybe 5 or 6 more times a game than you normally would. And if you can shoot 80%, that's an extra 4 or 5 points a game. You know, like that makes a huge difference in your scoring total on a nightly basis, is getting those freebies.
No doubt. I mean, I just, I feel pretty confident in that 100 number. I honestly think it maybe could even be higher. The Suns have 4 players that could do it without a doubt. So I don't know. I mean, I definitely think that it's a higher number than people think. I think off the top, people would think a number close to maybe 50. Or maybe, I bet you some would even say less, like say 40 and not even know that 43 people did it, because that is an eye-popping number. But then I think when you start really going through it, what was your number, like 80? I think that's
I said between
like
75.
Definitely. Like, I think if you really went through it, that would be like definitely. Like, yeah, we can definitely name 80 who could do it.
I would say that if I had more free time, something I could do is probably go to like the last. Oh, we're getting snarls. I would say I could probably go over teams and players that have been traded in the last 20 years, and I could find like good, significant research that would prove you right. Like I could probably go back and look at guys. I could, like guys that have gone to other teams and then just sort of taken off and gotten to be an all-star. Not all NBA, but just like gotten to be all-stars because they scored 23 and.
And just think of the 6-man guys too. That's what I think. Like, think about the Jordan Clarkson, the Lou Williams, the Jamal Crawford. Jamal Crawford was like 38 years old and dropped 50. Like if he was the number one option, even at 38, he could be putting up 20. I mean, hey, but anyways, back to this game, the Bucks. They withstood that run from the Suns. And Giannis continues to be aggressive, not afraid of the free throw line at all. 9 for 12 tonight, 31 and 11. I just need 2 more rebounds out of him, baby. And make that 10 for 13. Props to him, man. A lot of talk about the free throw woes, and he's really stepped up.
Yeah, and I'm going to be I don't know. I was just looking at this, like my Devin Booker call to go over the 43. This is the problem with being a hater. Like when you're like kind of excited that the guy's like not having back-to-back games, that we still have a fourth quarter, and I could be wrong. This could be something that the Joe Morley social media team clips out and says, hey, remember when you said that? And then Devin Booker rattled off 20 in the fourth quarter and the Suns won. But, yeah, I feel pretty good about a lot of it. Here's the problem with it, though. Along comes Khris Middleton scoring 0 points in the third quarter. And they're now pushing to a 20-point lead. I don't know if he's scoring me 11 in the fourth quarter when there's a 20-point lead. That hurts.
Yeah, probably not. It's the Khris Middleton train that definitely cooled off. I'm just a little upset. I don't think Brook Lopez is getting that three-pointer anymore. He typically doesn't play too much in the fourth quarter, although maybe if this gets out of hand, he gets a couple more minutes. But I think there's just kind of some interesting things from you look at the Suns rotation. They've been playing their bench guys quite a bit, and in particular, only 26 minutes out of Chris Paul. It almost seems like they are really taking it cautious with him even from the start, because they've put a lot of mileage on him in this playoff run where he's having a lot of games where he's at 38 minutes, 40 minutes was just a lot for him. I believe he had 40 or 41 minutes in game 2. And it seems like almost from the jump, they knew we got to take a little easier on Chris Paul this game. I wonder if there's something to that or not, but it seems like they might call the dogs off in this fourth quarter, to be quite honest with you. You don't test it too much with your 36-year-old point guard.
Yeah, like especially too if you're at that situation where it's like we're trying to win a finals, we got a 7-game series that we're going to play. If the guy is going to have a 40-minute game, let's do it in a game where we're not sure what's going to happen. You know what I'm like? If they get back to Phoenix at 2-2, best believe that CP3 is going to play upwards of 40 minutes if they need him to, right? We need him to play 40 minutes for game 7. But in a game 2 where you already got 1 and the score is pretty good, pretty close, you got a lead, you want to see Devin Booker, if he is that guy, have the fourth quarter like he had. And he didn't disappoint. I told somebody else the other day, that's the best game I've ever seen Devin Booker play. Because he could have easily went into a shell. He could have easily been bad. I'd seen it plenty times before where he had just been below average, jacking up threes that weren't going to make it. And what I would say in the beginning of this game, he was very three happy. And then that's not really his game. Like, he wasn't looking to get to the mid-range and, trying to come off picks and hitting jumpers and stuff like that. He was settling for a lot of three-pointers, and he started off really cold. Now, maybe they'll fall in the fourth. Fingers crossed they won't. But let's do it, Bucks. Let's make this a series. Let's make it interesting. That's what I'm cheering for.
I'm really interested to see what happens with the start of this fourth quarter. Do the Suns come out, Chris Paul's in the game, and they really push to make a run in the first 2-3 minutes? Are the Bucks going to, start with Giannis and really try to push it to 30 really quick? I'm interested to see kind of the mentality of both teams at the onset of this. Who's going to try to really make a run to either end it or get back in it, and who's going to have their foot off the gas a little bit, maybe concede, and let's get to Wednesday's game 4.
Well, if I'm Monty Williams, I'm going the other route. Like, if I'm Monty Williams, I'm saying, all right, Cam, let's see if you can inject a little something at the top. We're not giving up, but we're letting Cam Johnson, we're letting, Campaign, we're letting these other guys, Bridges, see if they can get hot and get something. And if you guys can work the game back to 10 minutes left, 10 points or something like that, let's then bring back our other guys. but I'm not putting out CP3 to start the quarter in a 22-point game. Like, that's just not what I'm doing.
I think if I was Monty Williams, I'm starting with my best lineup. It's going to be Mikal Bridges, CP3, Booker, Ayton, and Crowder. And I'm going to push hard for 2 minutes and see if you can get something like a 12-2 run, a 10-2 run. And then at that point, you know what to do. It doesn't happen. You're still staring at 20 points, 2 minutes in. Okay, now it's time. You bring up Cam Johnson to the scorer's table. Take out Chris Paul, and he's basically not going back in unless, just like you said, Cam and Cam Johnson just start making it rain from three. That way you give your guys a chance, but you're also, not putting that mileage, especially on Chris Paul. He's the one who matters.
Yeah, but my thing is I don't want any of my guys possibly taking some sort of weird injury, where Devin Booker getting hit in the nose again. Like, I don't want Ayton hyperextending a leg or jamming a finger or whatever. Like, there's other guys on your team that are also trying to win their first NBA Finals. Let's go out there and let them try and, get something, Like, you can't always rely on your aces to be aces. Like, every once in a while, you got to reach in your back pocket and you got to shank them with, with Kaminsky. What's his name? Kaminsky?
Frank the Tank. Frank Kaminsky. I just feel like that might be just a hair early to really pack it in. For a team who hasn't been there, doesn't have the experience, you don't want to give up a game, but the Bucks right in the start of the quarter, free throws. So it's not looking good, and I am with you in the sense that you got to pull, especially Chris Paul, early in this fourth quarter if you're not cutting into the lead. You just got to do it. Don't mess around with it. We all know the history. And again, if you're a Bucks fan, man, Giannis, he's making them, but it's the aggression. He's walking up there with confidence. And it's looking really good.
He's snarling. Like, he's, really feeling himself right now. Like, the kind of rare confidence that you have. But we're just seeing sort of sloppy turnovers by the Suns that I'm not been seeing a lot in this postseason. That's why I'm saying, something's not there. Wrap it up. Let's get Giannis another rebound so I can hit my prize picks and then get him out of the game.
Yeah,
let's get him rebound number 13 right here.
That's real there, Tony. We're flirting with danger of Giannis getting pulled right now. Speaking of protecting your guys and not having a knee injury. Yes. Oh man, we are flirting with danger of him sitting right at 12.
Get that board.
And us missing it.
I really need that one to keep my winning streak alive, because that I know I'm not getting the Devin Booker one, and I doubt that I'm getting 11 points in an almost 30-point win from Middleton right now. I don't see him taking enough shots to get 11 points in a game where the Bucks are winning by almost 30.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either. I just worry about Brook Lopez, man. He's not even in the game. He's going to have maybe one shot to get it. Middleton, his only chance is that he just kind of feels it here for the next couple minutes, hits back-to-back threes. Giannis goes out of the game, and he can be that guy, because that is the one thing, your one hope for Middleton is they have zero depth. I don't know that they're going to be able to clear the bench no matter what. I think either him or Jrue Holiday at a minimum is going to have to be out there, because I don't know if they can roll with Forbes, Connaughton, Portis,
Jeff Teague,
and Brook Lopez, I guess that. I don't know if you could do that. Maybe if there's 2-3 minutes, but they aren't going to be able to do that for 8 minutes on.
Yeah, but I still can't see, we already talked about his mentality. He's just not aggressive enough. He's just not got that, I'm going to go bury these guys because I can do it. He's been so pass happy in this game. I don't know what Middleton's numbers are, but I would say he has more than 6 or 7 assists in this game. He's just been passing the ball so much.
He's got 5 assists. It's just, I think he's somebody who really has to watch the ball go in the hoop in order to continue to take shots. Like, he's not somebody who can, especially in a situation like this where, okay, you need 10 to 12 from him in a quarter. He needs the first one to fall, and then he'll take another one. And he needs that basically to fall, and then he can take another one. In the 20-point quarter against the Hawks, that's basically what happened. It's because he got so hot. I don't know that he's somebody that's going to get it through volume.
I'm so tired of it. Just
pass it. Shoot. Oh.
What up, Mike?
I need 1 assist from Ayton at least to push.
And Giannis is really he's about to come out of this game with only 12 rebounds, and we'll all be done.
I've given up on my Middleton. I took Middleton over as well, so I've given up on that one. But I got 3 others that are still hopeful. A Deandre Ayton assist. 1 Deandre Ayton assist. As long as Brook Lopez doesn't get to the free throw line, and if he does at the end of this game, I am going to be in tears. Because there's a story behind that one, Brian. Brook Lopez has been losing me money all final form. And then I already landed the Jrue Holiday one. So all I need is an assist from Ayton and no Brook Lopez free throws, and I'm coming out in the profit again. Thank you, The Sports Scoop. We need 6 more subs. I think they sent like 5 or 6 people over to subscribe the other day. So thank you to The Sports Scoop. Joe Bishop. That's pretty cool. I like your name.
Joe Bishop. That is a good name. And he actually did. Yo, Mike is here.
I am here, Joe Bishop. Sorry I didn't recognize your name if you're in other comment sections on other platforms.
Welcome, Joe Bishop.
Hey, please sub, Joe. We are 6 away from hitting that 1,000 goal.
So the Suns got it under 20. Any reason to think coming out of this timeout we're still going to see Chris Paul? They're still going to gun for it?
I don't know. I really like the point that you made earlier, Brian, and I rarely like to give any credit for other people's ideas, but I will say you made a great point. When you've not been in this situation before, it is a little weird to sort of teach your team that it's okay to quit once in a while. Like, once you've won, you can sort of you can send that message, I think. Like, it's a different mindset with the 94 Bulls than it would have been with the 92 Bulls. Like, what kind of mind games Phil might have been playing with asking them to push through something, as they're pushing and going on and chasing titles. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys, I don't think maybe you don't want them to have that feeling of oh, hey, we still had 10 minutes left, and coach kind of, maybe in a 15, what's the difference between 15 and 18 or 15 and 21 points? It's just a couple trips down the floor because we're jacking up threes.
Yeah, I think you get another minute or so out of Chris Paul here, and you're trying to cut it to 12. And if that can happen, they're going to really push for it. If this sucker gets back up over 20, back to that 22, past the 8-minute mark, I think that's where you pull it. But it's going to be interesting because what do the Bucks do on the flip side out of this timeout? Is Giannis still going to be out there?
Giannis still
because that's going to be the question.
Threes?
He needs to never shoot another 3 again.
What is that bullshit? I get it. You want to do it. It's fun. People love it. But people used to love too. They used to love the dunks. They used to love the Dominique Wilkins, the Vince Carter. I don't know why I'm blanking on all the flashy dunkers. Sean Kemp, guys that could really just throw down. Let's
Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson can throw down and get knocked down.
Yeah.
Nate Robinson, man.
He disappeared. Where'd he go? I haven't heard from him. He deleted all social media accounts.
I think did he not sign up for the Big Three? I thought he was the biggest name in Ice Cube's Big Three. Is that not a thing?
Oof, that's not good for the Big Three if he's the biggest name.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. That's why when somebody sent me something, they said, "Who's the best player on this list?" And I was like, "Oh, it's definitely this guy."
I saw a cool post today. Anthony Davis went to the Junior Drew League. All the celebrities usually go to the Drew League event, right, to watch those players play. He went to the Junior Drew League to watch the kids play instead of the adults, which is pretty cool.
I thought you were going to say he went to the gym and worked out. I was like, finally, good.
He was in the gym
to start the season for once.
He was in the gym, so maybe he did some suicides while he was there.
Yeah. Just lay off whatever sort of Chicago deep
Brook
dish.
Lopez.
Do not
to the free throw line.
No freaking way. No way.
And I'm upset too because I wanted him to take 3 and quit driving the ball.
That wasn't a foul. In the game where I took the over on Brook Lopez's free throws, he was getting fouled like crazy, and they wouldn't call a damn thing. And now they're being touchy and calling a foul, and I have the under on Brook Lopez.
What was the number? Was it 1.5?
1.5.
Yeah, he needed 2 free throws in the last game, and he couldn't get them.
He made the first one. Oh, my goodness.
So is it free throws made or just free throws attempted?
Free throws made.
Oh, he's a good free throw shooter.
Yeah, he already made the first one on my broadcast. And I see Felke saying to take the L because I know that he's been in this stream probably just to watch Brook Lopez hit 2 free throws. You mother.
I just need 1 3. Just one.
Mike comes on just to to be delivered a little bit of devastation. Brook Lopez has not come through for Mike at all in Prize Picks.
Don't even get me started, Tony. The tip-off, then the free throws, and now the free throws in the opposite direction in the fourth quarter.
Get that board, Giannis. Come on.
If Ayton doesn't get this assist, then I lost tonight, guys.
All I know
is
if Frank the Tank is in the game, then Chris Paul needs to be out. Like, what are they doing right now? They got Chris Paul in with all the scrubs. What are they doing?
Air 5, ready?
So Ayton's coming out of the game. That's what
I'm not ready yet. Wait, we got a 3 from Brook Lopez? Don't get my hopes up. Oh, he's posted up. He's wide open. Let's go. Yeah! Gods. Let's go. Hey, but don't break my heart. How many rebounds does Giannis have right now? Is he still at 12? Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. We need one.
That's heartbreaking. Oh, he's in the game. All right, come on.
He is in the game.
I
want him to do one of those cheap ones, where remember that Ricky Davis triple-double he had where he
himself.
Shot it off his own backboard and got a rebound?
To himself. Yeah, that was pretty hilarious. That was the downfall of the triple-double right there, starting with Ricky Davis.
His time as a Laker, shitty. His time as a prize pick, shitty. Brook Lopez, you're just shitty.
Hey, he just hit a 3 for me.
Well, congrats to Brook. I hope he wins the NBA Finals.
I had him at plus 11.5 last game, and he got pulled for PJ Tucker and Connington and whatever. So I stayed away from him in this one.
It's 24. It's not looking good. Oh, Giannis, we need a dang rebound.
1 rebound, brother. Come on, man. Somebody just jack one up right here. Off the back iron. Oh, no, you're too far from the hoop.
Pepperton, I'm not in the mood for your shit. Here we go. Joe Bishop, I did comment on your video you posted a few hours ago, Mike. My @ was Lil Bish 19. Okay, Joe, I'll go and check it out, and I'll respond to your comment if I haven't already. I like your username, by the way. I see what you did there. RCAA layoff Brook. I can't anymore. I actually made like a conscious decision here. I was like, am I going to give Brook one more chance at these free throws, or am I going to go full-blown hating on Brook Lopez? I went the wrong direction, apparently.
Come on, Giannis. Rebound.
But now I can't turn around. I will say this. I am shooting good from the line today. I'm 3 for 3 with the protein shakes. Brook Lopez. Now he's working down low. What a great ball.
I know. He's about to get some more free throws.
That wasn't happening regardless. I agree with you, Felke. So does Brian.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know what happened with Dak, but, like, he snapped his ankle and all of a sudden became elite. Like, I don't know what happened. Once he got hurt, he got better somehow.
Wait, Phil K's familiar with your work? Or did he see that on the YouTube channel maybe?
What?
Is that one on
He's familiar. He's familiar with Mike's work. He
Wait, Dak is
he's on the positive Dak train, like he's gonna win MVP, like Mike is.
I thought it was
although I do think Dak is a dark horse for MVP, so I guess that isn't a complete lie.
What just happened?
I think I'd probably have him inside my top 10 right now.
I can't see any more broken bones.
Was it Cam Johnson? He's shaking, man. He's in pain. I actually like Cam Johnson. He's on my TikTok page for making PJ Tucker look like an old man that he is. Did you see PJ Tucker's face after he got dunked on? He was so shocked.
Yeah, he was. He was like, I think that's what you have to act like. Like, what? That was definitely a charge. Because, I mean, otherwise,
I didn't see
legend Dak Prescott.
Bolsters your top 10, just roughly.
Yeah, Dak, I would give the benefit, but I do think it's a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I'd probably say he's top 10. I did one a while back, and I think he was 8 or 9, maybe.
That's fair.
I think that's fair.
We can't really. Yeah, that's what Brian was saying. Put it on a graphic.
He was, but it's the truth. Like, I know not for everybody. Like, you were probably higher on him than most, always. But, a lot of the talk coming into the season and even during those first couple of games was, is he top 10? Then all of a sudden it was like, oh, he's definitely mainly the 6th best quarterback. That was kind of the number he was slotted at a lot. And it was like, wait, what just happened? Like, it may not necessarily be wrong. I can't say for sure that you're wrong. He could be 6th, but it just seemed like all of a sudden he got hurt and then was just like stamped up 4 more spots than previously. I don't know. No ill will against him at all. I hope he balls out, but
he got the sympathy votes. You got the sympathy votes from the public.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Joe,
the people named Joe. Big Ben is the best in the league right now. Nope, not even the best half of the league right now.
Yeah, I don't know about all of that. I mean, I think he started to catch a little too much slander down the end of the season, but best in the league, no. Top 10, no. I still want to give him the benefit of the doubt of being above average slightly, but that's getting pretty questionable.
I think if we sat down and did it, Brian, which I know we're talking about basketball here, but if we sat down and did it, I think we'd probably be looking at Big Ben, unless he has some kind of turnaround at the beginning of this year, being in that 17 to 20 range, which is in the lower half. I know it's right there at the cusp, but when I'm thinking about like my 10 to 15, I'm thinking about like Matthew Stafford's, Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield's,
Derek Carr's,
Ryan Tannehill's. All those guys are in that like 8 to 15 range, and they just fill it up. There's no space for Big Ben anymore in that ranking.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't call somebody crazy that would say that, hey, last year Big Ben was the 14th, 15th best quarterback. I wouldn't call him crazy because there's a case to be made for the veteran leadership, like that kind of stuff. But especially coming into this season, it's a tough sell. But the one benefit I do want to give him is their offensive line was bad, and obviously he is a quarterback that needs that offensive line. This isn't 2007 anymore, He needs that to operate.
Yeah, and it showed with Rivers in Indianapolis how much an offensive line can literally carry a statue quarterback like that. Rivers was, if you just watch his tape, he was awful. He was making the right reads and everything still like he normally would, but his arm just was not there. And without that offensive line, if he's getting any kind of pressure, he probably would have thrown 20 interceptions last year.
Yeah, and, him and Big Ben are also – they're the statue quarterbacks, but at least in my opinion, they don't quite operate it the same as Of course, it's two absolute legends, Manning, Brady, who are able to avoid pressure, are able to combat that with their arm in ways that I don't think Rivers and Big Ben do. Yeah. I think they tend to hold the ball and bring on pressure a little bit more than not.
And that's a lot of pre-snap.
Rebound? We got a rebound?
It's a ton of pre-snap.
Watch the game. Enjoy.
That better be a rebound, Tony. Don't be getting my hopes up, man.
It's a Khris Middleton bucket.
Well, he got a nice shooter's touch on that three. I didn't want to interrupt you guys for that.
Well, we're talking about the NFL, so feel free to interrupt us.
Yeah.
Nope, it's fine. I'm watching the game.
Rebound
in here.
Let's go. Money in the pocket.
Money in the pocket again.
I'm just so glad you guys are happy. Felke does not want to see the Cowboys lose Washington again. They probably split Felke.
You're right. Booker and Middleton both had 11-point games in the NBA Finals.
Found that the whole pluralizing one's last name hilarious.
All I know
I'm not sure if I understand.
Is what is Monte Williams doing? What is Chris Paul doing in the game right now? What is he doing? He's in there with Frank the Tank. Devin Booker is getting the 36-year-old treatment. Chris Paul, maybe they just took him out. He's got to come out. I think he just came out of the game.
Yep, that's it.
He'll be done for tonight.
They're wrapping it up.
Devin Booker was getting into it, it looked like, with some Bucks players.
He should just go to the locker room.
Yeah.
Gets himself in trouble.
No, get teed up. Say something about somebody's DMs and wives and crazy stuff. There we go. Get tossed.
Okay, Conor McGregor. Tony, did you see the clips? Because we didn't get to see the audio of Conor yelling. He was yelling some craziness.
He was, and it's why I don't like Conor.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yep. There it is. Give this man a standing ovation. Back-to-back games. Here's the crazy thing about Giannis. This could have been an even better game if he wasn't wasting some of his attempts, shooting three-pointers and crazy fadeaway jump shots. Like, he could have easily had 50 tonight if he would have been down where he dominates in the game. Like, I wish somebody would just be like, hey, you see these 6 shots on the shot chart? Don't take them there. Take them here, where there's a big giant dot of you being successful. It's right here. It's within 6.5 feet of the basket.
And that's going to be Giannis's night as well, which is good to see him play well, exit healthy. This is really feeling like, I don't think it's overreacting. It's really feeling like this is going to be 2-2 heading back to Phoenix.
So what's the shot that Khris Middleton just finished this thing strong with a couple of buckets?
Not good. Not good.
I don't want to take my first L for a prize pick night.
You guys go safe? You guys go with like the I can miss one and still get it?
Yeah, I always do that.
Yeah.
Because
well, I didn't do it once, Brian, and guess what happened? I missed it.
You missed one. Yeah.
Oh, it's because Brook Lopez didn't hit 2 free throws. That's why I missed it. And then another one I missed because Brook Lopez won the tip, but the tip was rigged. Like the ref threw it straight for Brook Lopez. It was ridiculous.
I added.
Go big or go home. Go big or go home, man. You got to get that multiplier. Be confident.
I'll do it for the next game, Brian, so that we're in together.
I added the Devin Booker 43 fantasy points at the very end. Otherwise, I would have went 3 for 4. That was just me being a jerk.
That's good. I landed on my UFC ones last night, and I won a nice little 65 piece. So I'm sure you're going to have a nice little surprise, Tony.
Wait, what did last night you did this and we didn't talk about it?
We did talk about it.
You hit all 3?
Yes.
I don't think I was aware of that.
It was Tuivasa under 2 minutes. It was the O'Malley strikes. And it was – oh, no, I missed one. I missed the Poirier takedowns is what happened.
Okay.
But I put 40 instead of 20 down last night, so I won a little bit extra.
Okay.
But extra money. The Bucks fans are excited. It's good to see because they are rocking in Phoenix every time anyone steps into that stadium.
What's Joe Bishop saying here? I have had a frustrating year.
Yeah, he's talking about Steelers.
The Steelers, Bad second half of the year, and the Sixers underperformed in the playoffs. Yes, Joe, that is a shit year for you, my friend. Especially the Steelers, because that was like it. When you watch the games, you knew that team was not 11-0, whatever caliber they were. Like they were, it was not an 11-0 football team. A lot of luck there.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And the thing that makes it more painful for Steelers fans is that entire undefeated run, everyone, all of us, non-Steelers fans were saying, it's going to happen. You guys are going to fall off the cliff. It's going to happen this week. No, this week. And the Steelers fans just kept like giving us the bird until eventually it happened.
Yeah. And then they were angry about it.
Then they acted like it like no one said it was coming.
And because a lot of the Project Dribble stuff that I have a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers jerseys because my mom was a Steelers fan, and we would cheer with her growing up, and so they would be in the background of my son. People would always be like, "Why are you why are you such a hater and being a Steelers fan?" I'm like, I like the Steelers, but I'm not like living and dying with them, winning or losing. And then you're watching the game, and it's like they're escaping with this and that and whatever, and then they just get smoked by the Browns, which that's the worst end of the season they possibly could have had.
Yeah, I remember that. I couldn't believe it, how badly they got beat. I took the Browns to win that game too, just because I felt like they had the momentum going into it, but I did not. No one expected it to be the way it was. Jeez.
I didn't have the Steelers. I didn't have the Browns winning that game. I was like, oh, Steelers just based on like veterans and coaching and whatever. And then the way that first half went, they were up, 28 points, 35 points or something crazy in the first half. And then people were still reaching out to me and being like, it's the Browns. They'll blow it. I'm like, they're not going to blow a 4-touchdown lead. It's ridiculous.
They almost did.
They did. There's no way the Bucks are blowing this lead. They are up, at least on my screen. What is this? 17 points with 2 minutes to play. Last Bucks championship, 1971, with the great Lou Alcindor and Oscar Robinson, I believe.
That's some good names to be listed with.
Yeah, I think Big O was the point guard on that team.
Ooh, nice pass there. I think it was campaign.
This is good. What do we have coming up this week, Mike? Tomorrow we have Mock Draft Monday, right?
Yes, sir. And we got some special guests. We got some NFL Network guys joining us for Mock Draft Monday. Steezy A. Smith, if you guys are in the YouTube and Instagram sphere, he's an up-and-comer. He's doing really good for himself. He's doing Mock Draft Monday with us as well. So you may not see my pretty face on Mock Draft Monday, but I will be in the live chat, and I want to be in the draft too, so I'll still be there, somewhat involved. Tuesday, I think we have a pretty empty slate. Joe was talking about doing Warzone. Oh, forgot. I skipped over Home Run Derby live stream tomorrow. We're going to be doing that immediately following the mock draft. So you can get your fantasy football content in, do the mock draft with us, hang out, and straight into a Home Run Derby with Shohei Ohtani. By the way, I've submitted my picks. Tony, you're not going to like them when they come out to the public. And then on Tuesday, a pretty clean slate. We got WSN Live is kind of in there as a potential show, but nothing super planned for Tuesday. So just keep an eye on the social media.
Isn't that game 4 of the NBA Finals?
It's on Tuesday or Wednesday? I'm pretty sure
I think it's on Tuesday. Today is Sunday.
I'll double check.
We may have messed up our own damn schedule. I think that I might have messed up Joe because Joe was like, "Do you want to do something on Tuesday?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know. I was running errands." But yeah, if this game is Sunday, wait, it says
it's Wednesday.
Game 4 Wednesday 9 p.m. Okay, you guys are right. I'm wrong. Wednesday.
So that leads us into Wednesday. Also, Cup of Joe is going to be happening, I think, on Tuesday. That leads us into Wednesday. We're going to have Sports Force as usual. Brian Bolsterd, who was on the stream with us throughout the night tonight, and Joe Skirto. They go at it on Sports Force every Wednesday night, talking every sport, talking in every galaxy, but only on the Warzone Sports Network. Gotta love that plug. Came up with it myself just here on the spot. And then Thursday, I think, is another pretty clean day. Might have a live stream that day, just a live trending show. We'll see how it goes. Friday Night Wars, as always. The hottest sports debate show in the game today. If you guys want to check that out, the previous episode had a special 2-week time to go and vote with. You got to go to Friday Night Wars on the YouTube channel. You got to vote for me because I go against Joe Morley every week, and I need your vote to win. It's a tight race right now. I think it's like 101 to 98 or something right now. Joe has the lead, so I need every vote counts over there. 101-98, I believe, is what the count is right now for votes on Friday Night Wars. And then Saturday, is there an NBA game Saturday if there's one Wednesday?
Well, it should be a couple days trip. I'm kind of curious as to why they're getting 2 more days off. Like, what's up with the scheduling? Is there something to do with MLB events maybe? Like, is the All-Star game on Tuesday and they don't want to compete against it? Like,
maybe.
Why are they getting multiple days off here? I get it for the travel days. That's something they typically will do in the NBA Finals. They get the extra day to travel to the new city, but like they're already in Milwaukee. This game should be on Tuesday, so I'm wondering why it's on Wednesday.
That is strange because this last week they had game 1 Tuesday, game 2 Thursday, game 3 Sunday, but the upcoming week it's game 4 on Wednesday, game 5 on Saturday, and they're not playing again until Tuesday the next week if there's a game 6.
Giving them a lot of breaks, I think that favors, to me, that favors Phoenix. Like, I think the more rest you can get for CP3, the better. You know, like the Bucks did what they were supposed to do. Like we were talking about in the first half when Willie was still on the show. I want to thank Willie from Shakeback Media Group. Go and check him out everywhere that he's putting out content. But my whole thing was that they had to find a way to like really deliver a message and make it a double-digit lead at halftime, and they were able to move it up to 15. So good for the Bucks. Thank you for making this a series. Jrue Holiday was very impressive, finally putting in some buckets. And Giannis, back-to-back games. They had a graphic up earlier, Mike, where it was Shaq and LeBron James and Giannis now the only people to have back-to-back 40-point, 10-rebound games in the NBA Finals. That's pretty good company to be in.
That's some more great company to be in right there. And Giannis is right there with those guys. And I think when we look at the end of Giannis's career, and someone else does this in 20 years, we're going to say, yeah, Giannis, Shaq, and all these guys are good company to be in.
Yes. It is goes along with what I'm always saying about Giannis, is that Giannis needs to be compared to what Shaq does, and he needs to do what Shaq did best, which was dominate everybody in the paint. I honestly don't believe that there's anybody who can hang with him down low, and especially if he would work more at his back to the basket. I don't think he can improve that much from the free throw line, but he can rack up the fouls. He'll be fine. Good. I'm happy for him. I like Giannis. All right, we got all that stuff in. Notch whip.
I was muted and talking the whole time, Tony. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I didn't even know if you was. It was torture. Joe Bishop. Is Joe subscribed?
He is subscribed.
I hope Joe comes back. I like Joe, especially once football season starts. It'll be interesting because the Steelers playing a lot of primetime games.
Yep, we'll be watching some Steelers football here on the Warzone Sports Network.
And Notch will be back to represent his Packers too.
And if I had to guess, Joe Morley will be here also, making the show bad.
I see Joe in the back. I see something happening on Joe's screen in the background. Is
it's
that that's just left over from the scoreboard?
Yeah, it's the scoreboard.
Okay. I was like, what is he trying to do to us? Anyways, should we do the prize picks or just you don't want to live through that anymore?
I don't really want to live through that anymore, but I think that we just plug it one more time. If you guys want to join in and play prize picks with us for game 4 coming up on Wednesday, almost a week from now. I'm just kidding. Half a week from now on Wednesday. Prize Picks has actually given us a promo code. We're working with them a little bit. The promo code is Warzone. So when you're making your deposit, make sure you put in the code Warzone, and Prize Picks is going to match your deposit up to $100. So that means if you put in $20, you're going to have $40 to play with. If you put in $50, you're going to have $100 to play with. If you put in $99, you're going to have $298 to play with. Quick math in the head, 99 times 2. Anyways, code WARZONE when you're depositing. So create your account, and then when you're depositing, you'll see the spot for the promo code WARZONE. Alex, I hope you've gotten in on this prize picks action already. Thank you for tuning in. Suns in 5. Yeah, I know he's been chanting Suns in 4. It still is very, very well possible. The Suns seem to always respond, especially in these playoffs, to that one loss in the series with back-to-back wins to close the series out so far.
Bucks in 7. Bucks in 7, everybody.
21 said Bucks in 7.
My Khris Middleton MVP dream is dead. It has absolutely been dirt's been shoveled on it. It pretty much was with the 11-point game, but he needed a 40-piece tonight, and I think he got like 18. All right,
and also we are 6 subscribers away from hitting 1,000 subs tonight. We got 3 people still hanging around on YouTube. If you 3 people can each get 1 person to come and sub to the Warzone, we will only be 3 away from 1,000 subscribers. Now, if you get 2 or 3 people to come, we're hitting it tonight. I did want to hit it live on the air, but we did not. But it happens.
Yeah. Maybe we just ban people from subscribing until, oh, wait, we'll be live again tomorrow. And they'll live again the next night.
Alex, just sign up. Use code WARZONE. And Mike, who is just broke, not broke as fuck, will help you out. Joe Bishop, good luck on hitting 1,000. Hope it happens soon. It's going to hopefully happen tomorrow. Joe, thank you for tuning into this live stream.
Thank you, Joe.
Last things, Tony?
No, I have nothing left to say. Nothing left good.
Well, I should just go ahead and hit the music.
Yes, if you can find it.
Even if it's going to cut us off and just like
mid-sentence.
Awkwardly just start playing mid-sentence.
Warning. Warning. Warning.
Get ready to rumble. Step into the war zone. Step into the war zone. Step into the war zone. Step into the war zone.